Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Ruchi Sharma. Cryptocurrencies are buzzing these days. Couple of factors fueling optimism are ETH ETF approval, Bitcoin halving, and many more. SEC's approval of 8 spot Bitcoin ETFs has sent the ball rolling in the sidechain activity, the NFT market. This has rejuvenated investor confidence for sure, but how far will the rub-off effect last? Are we about to witness a change in the near term? What is the discerning trend suggesting? I know there are a lot of questions that remain unanswered. To help us decipher all these questions and many more, we have a special guest with us, Mr. Angad Sodi, co-founder, Colors of India. Welcome to 3 TV, Mr. Sodi.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So, Mr. Angad, in the last bull run, we saw PFP NFTs becoming, booming. Like Beeple's famous NFT or Jack Dorsey's first tweet NFT all fetched millions of dollars. With this bull run, what can we expect in the NFT sector? How do you see this scenario helping or rather boosting current NFT market prospects?
I think this time around is a very different scenario because the last time was the first time, and the first time always has a lot more value. It always has a lot more excitement. But because of what happened, with the bull run and then the subsequent bear market, there is also a lot of things that are going to change with this second run now, because everybody who invested or who sort of collected very valuable art last time around did so just on the fact that they were buying an NFT. So anything that someone minted as an NFT was valuable, possibly because it was early days.
Right.
And there was a lot of hype and excitement. What's changing now is there's a lot of understanding, or there's a lot that people need to do to actually create an inherent value for the art or for the NFT that they're putting out. So even if it's a PFP project, the most successful PFP project, more or less undisputedly is the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Right.
The real value of the Bored Ape Yacht Club is in its community.
Right.
It is in the people who adopted it. And that is why even today there are times where you will see $1 million JPEG sell as, when a Bored Ape is sort of being traded. But now it's going to be a lot harder for people to hit those kind of values because the market and the investor is actually going to look for real value. Unlike last time where people were buying into the hype, where people were buying into everything that was new and exciting, this time there's going to be a lot more thought that has to go into the value proposition that an NFT is offering. Right. So, in fact, the last time around, people were buying an NFT because it was an NFT, not because of what was being what it was tied to. Now, you have to actually offer real value proposition. So, even if it is art, the artist has to have done enough to build their brand or to have a strong enough concept before people will actually put serious money down. So, I see things coming back, but not the way they used to. It's going to be a whole new learning experience for a lot of people coming into NFTs.
Okay. So the ETH ETF is really buzzing. There's a lot of buzz around it right now. The US financial markets regulator SEC has approved 8 Ethereum ETFs, and analysts are predicting that the ETH ETF will launch by June end. What will be the implication of ETH ETF listing? We are well aware about the fact that most NFT projects are available on Ethereum blockchain.
So there's obviously going to be some upturn in Ethereum's fortunes, right? There are going to be a lot of people, a lot of retail investors who are going to be able to come into Ethereum because they're going to trade in this ETF. So it will be more accessible. People who've never had a wallet will actually be able to play a part in what happens with Ethereum. And of course, as a direct result of this, I definitely see Ethereum prices going up. Now, whether this impacts NFTs or not is something that needs to be seen because, like I was saying earlier, a lot of investors who had bought NFTs without a very clear value proposition are definitely going to, once bitten, twice shy, right? They're going to be a lot more careful with how they invest their Ethereum, even if there is more ETH floating around. There will be some movement. There will be some, it will be better than the bear market.
Okay.
But I don't see things move too drastically in the NFT space for now.
See, India is also lagging behind in NFT adoption. What do you think is the reason, and when will this scenario change in India? Also, what kind of NFT trends are dominating the NFT market right now?
So with India, there is a lot of uncertainty with policy. There's a lot of uncertainty on where India stands with virtual digital assets as well. So far, government policy is clubbing everything into one umbrella.
Right.
So you're paying that 1% GST plus the 30% capital gains tax on whatever size transaction you are doing, which is impacting NFTs in a very big way, because people who, in the past may have maybe earned $200 worth, or maybe whatever, 10, 15, 20,000 rupees in a month selling NFTs as art, they are also being taxed at this 30% plus 1% with every transaction. And what that is doing is it's discouraged a lot of people from even entering. So people who are making a lot of money are not entering. So the problem or rather the solution is we need to separate use cases and then tax them according to what they're being used for. So the same NFT, if it is being used for something like art, should not be taxed at any more than what regular paintings are taxed at. Whereas if it is being used to, say, hypothetically trade real estate or trade oil or trade something that does have a much higher monetary value or higher risk, then you look at it as you go to security, or you look at it as capital gains. But till such time as we don't get clearer policies, so at the moment, an artist, when they mint something, they incur a bunch of costs, right? There's gas fees, there's input costs that you're putting into creating your artwork and putting it out, or creating your NFT and putting it out. There are no deductibles, or there is no provision for deductibles in our tax regime currently, right? Till such time as this is not cleared, till such time as people aren't allowed to sort of operate an NFT business the way they would any other real world business, we're not going to see too much adoption. What we would hope for is that use cases are what determine how policy is made. And the other thing that will make a huge difference, and there has been some talk about this, is separating your speculative investor from somebody who is earning or offering a service or selling something for crypto. So essentially somebody who is getting paid in virtual digital assets in exchange for goods or services offered, where there is a real value, there is a tangible value saying, I have done work worth $1,000 and you are paying that $1,000 in whatever digital asset.
Okay.
And that needs to be taxed separately. It cannot be taxed at 30%. The minute we see this segregation happen, we're going to see a lot more adoption, because people will be more open to it. It's not a loss-making operation for them anymore.
Okay. So we are aware about the ongoing tussle between Bitcoin and Ethereum to capture maximum market share in terms of NFT sales volume. Ethereum, once the NFT king, is now struggling to hold its number one position. But now Solana is also emerging as a strong contender. Which blockchain do you think will dominate in terms of NFT sales volume in the future?
See, Ethereum is sort of like your US dollar, right? It has become the most transacted, and even though Solana and other blockchains are catching up, and there may be others who will possibly surpass Ethereum, but I don't see that happening in a hurry. Having said that, of course, for a lot of creators who are actually building things and they're putting them on different chains, they are chain agnostic. There are a lot of platforms and a lot of marketplaces that also allow you to list without you committing to a chain.
Okay.
So I could list an NFT and you as the user could decide whether you want to own it in Ethereum, or you want to own it in Solana, or you want to own it in Bitcoin.
Right.
And so I think that's a very interesting playground for creators to play in, because we don't need to be chain agnostic. We need to be chain agnostic. We don't need to commit to a particular chain. And eventually Ethereum is constantly evolving, and they've just upgraded again recently. So I think that Ethereum will still probably be the most dominant, but people like Solana are coming up. Bitcoin ordinals are also a very, very prominent player game now. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much, Mr. Sodi, for giving us your valuable time and for having this conversation with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Well, that's all in the special segment of Face to Face. This is me, Ruchi Sharma, signing off. Do like, share and subscribe to 3.TV, and for more information stories, log on to our website www.3versetv.io or scan the QR code.